Hello, everybody. I'm Michael Reed of pulseoftheuniverse.com. If you're interested in scheduling a consultation with me or any of my webinar courses or the Vedic Astrology Academy, information on all of those things is in the text area below. So it's never good to get lulled into a sense of false security. But at the same time, it's not so good to get lulled into a false sense of insecurity. Okay? Because, sometimes when we are able to put a little bit of muscle into a situation, and as a result of putting muscle into that situation, we see things budge and change in our lives, then we begin to think that all I ever have to do when I face this problem is put in that same amount of muscle and things will ultimately budge. But they're not really seeming to do that right now, are they? And so then when you get into that position where things aren't budging, and they haven't been budging for a while, no matter how much muscle you're exerting, then you begin to think, well, gee, things aren't going to budge anymore, and things are going to be really horrible in this particular area of my life. And you know what? That may not necessarily be true either. But in either circumstance, you're finding yourself in a position presently where you feel like you should be able to achieve something simply because it was something that you used to be able to achieve once upon a time. Only thing is, you're finding yourself, feeling like you're incapable of being able to achieve that very same thing. And that feels ultimately very humiliating. But you know what? That's really good. As odd as it may seem, that's absolutely excellent. Not because we want to see you feeling down on yourself or feeling horrible, but, when we think that we can do something and always get the same result, then we never really, take a look at the subtleties of situations, the subtleties of ourselves, and the subtleties of ourselves and our interactions with those situations, and ultimately those people that are involved in it. And so at the present moment, you're facing resistance simply for the fact that you need to take a good, honest look at yourself, right? How much of the present vision that you have for change is, out of alignment with perhaps what it is that you really need. In addition to that, how much are you behind the current plan that you're backing? Are you 100% behind what you're doing? If you're even a little out of alignment with that, can you really expect to encounter anything but conflict, even if that's conflict with another person? Because ultimately, you're in conflict with yourself. If you don't get into a space where you're able to sort that conflict with yourself, how are you ultimately going to be able to sort conflict with another person? So take a look at what you desire and what you need. Right? So if those are out of alignment, and they may not, they may be, pretty close to being both synced up, but you need to take a look at it anyway. So take a look at that. Equally take a look at whether or not you're really behind the actions that you're taking. If you are, hey, perfect, that's great. If you're not, then you need to make some decisions. Is this really the way I want to continue? Or do I want to make some changes? You're not facing resistance presently because you're looking at a problem that's bigger than you or something that ultimately can't be solved, but instead you're facing resistance simply because you need to take a look at the source of that resistance and decide whether the source of that resistance is ultimately the person you look at in the mirror each day. That's going to do it for this look at Mars's transit, through Uttara Phalguni Nakshatra from the 11th of September 2019 to the 3rd of October 2019. Until next time, please do take the very best care of yourself. Bye now.